Are you interested in finding a school to enhance your education? Not sure where to start? Well, today your search is over. CDP Maths Lab eSchool offers classes for C.S.E.C, CAPE, and GSET subjects, along with training in early childhood education and data operation. Listen to what CDP Maths Lab students have to say about their most fulfilling experience.
While I was attending, it was almost the best experience I ever had. Like I was in class, but I wasn't. I would give the school the full 10 out of 10 because the teachers take the opportunity to help the ones that really needed it. To the upcoming students, this is the best decision you have made, and it will benefit you in the near future.
CDP Maths Lab eSchool was founded by Ronique Bernard in August 2009 with a vision to see our students receive a solid education with an emphasis on developing their cognitive skills. The school is committed to developing individuals who will have a positive impact on the society.
The class it really helped me, and if you are going to C.S.E.C, I really recommend this class, so you could always give it a try. The prices are really reasonable, and it is really worth it for online class. Like myself, you would be proud because on that day or on that night when results are out and you log in and you open your results, that feeling, it really is great. It is more of an experience that you would really want to relive.
Of course, I went through it and I passed my exams, so I would highly recommend this to anyone. If you have a problem or so, they will take their time out. They will take their time out to tell you. Plus, they have history of also past students who have also passed their exams in once.
I have been attending for 6 months, and my most fulfilling moment would be the interaction between the teachers and the students, as the environment is very comfortable and welcoming. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest, I would rate this institution, along with the teaching techniques, skills, and tolerance of the teachers, a perfect score of 10. If I had the opportunity to recommend someone to this class, I would, because I can assure you that you will leave 10 times better than how you had entered. Now that I am leaving, one thing that I would recommend is a classroom interaction, at least twice a month, as some students tend to do better with face-to-face interactions. This program would be the best decision one could choose, as the teachers are excellent at what they do, and they will go to the extreme to ensure that you understand what was taught, even if that means staying up with you all night. Choose CDP Maths Lab. Thank you.
Despite his late start, Shonday was able to successfully complete his exam.
Trust me, it's a really good program, because if I entered a month before exam and I passed the exam, that says everything for itself. The program speaks for itself practically then.
CDP Maths Lab eSchool is convenient and economical. We provide flexible learning options in a relaxed environment. With over 80% pass rate, we offer free demo classes before payment, one-to-one interactive tutoring, clinical teaching sessions to strengthen weak areas, and step-by-step video and worksheet exercises.
So of course, we really are the one to choose. Experience teaches wisdom. So we offer a free online orientation to our prospective students to support your decision.
Good night. So we're gonna
Good night,
start.
sir.
Yes, good night. Sorry for the late start. Yes, good night, Miss Paul. Sorry for the late start. All right. Good night. So we're gonna start. Sorry for the late start. Yes, good night, Miss Paul. Sorry for the late start. All right. So good night to those persons on YouTube as well. Sorry for the late start. We do apologize for the late start. All right, people. As usual, we're going to commence our devotion first, and then we will get into our class, and we'll get into our class. All right. So please remember that the marathon program begins in May. Last 2 weeks of May will be HSB. So I only have 2 more classes with you guys in this fashion. Mrs. Riley will be taking over from me to run the human and social biology class. Of course, she is really the specialist in the subject area, biology. So she will be running the class for you. I believe I would have taken you far enough after these 2 days, the next 2 weeks. And you have a responsibility that you have not been keeping your end of the bargain. I've seen some worksheet coming in, but not seen any videos coming in, no presentations. So I won't be asking for it again after the 2 weeks. You're on your own after that. You, wise man, listens and increase learning. All right. But before we get into that, let us invite the presence of God in our class as usual. Again, I decide to keep this text up because, sometimes in life we have to be reminded of one of God's promises and God's intention. God has state his intention in Jeremiah 29 verses 11, that he says, "For I know the thoughts that I think toward you." And God was sending a message through the prophet Jeremiah to his people, Israel. And once you're a child of God, God loves everyone. Every one of us he loves. And he's expressing his thoughts towards us. Can anyone? The Father God knows. To know, it means that we're not strangers to him. Sometimes we treat him like a stranger, but we are not strangers to him. This is, "For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord." And he describes them. He has thoughts of peace, not of evil, and has promised to give you an expected end. So, but sometimes, God has these thoughts towards us, but we may not experience them because we don't carry out our role. You know, as the Bible says, faith without work is death. So when we don't do our work, we become frustrated, find it hard to cope with things in life because we don't do our part. You have a part to play. Faith without work is death. You have a part to play. All right? So, thoughts of peace are not of evil. And he has promised to give us an expected end. That means the end, if its thought is of peace, then the end must be, of course, as is in the beginning, peaceful, nothing to frustrate you or anything. All right, so let us listen to our theme song, and then we'll go into prayer.
I love you, Lord. Oh, your mercy never fails me. And all my days I've been held in your hand. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. 'Cause all my life you have been faithful, and all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. I love your voice. You will lead me through the fire, and in darkest night you were close like no other. I've known you as a father, I've known you as a friend, and I have lived in the goodness of God, yeah. And all my life you have been faithful. Oh, and all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God, yeah. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. With my life laid down, I'm surrendered now. I give you everything. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. With my life laid down, I'm surrendered now. I give you everything. Your goodness is running, it keeps running after me. And all my life you have been faithful, and all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I'm gonna sing of the goodness of God. I'm gonna sing, I'm gonna sing
as we're about to pray, I just want, good night to Elaine, good night to Vivette, and others of you who are watching us live on YouTube. Good night to you. Now, as we're about to pray, as the singer in the song testifies, I just want you to stop and think. At times when you think that life is hard, and sometimes you worry about, what is going to happen to you in life. Sometimes financially, we say that, we have the bills to pay and everything just keep coming at you. Or it could be health. It could be whatever it is, emotional problems. But when you stop to think and you look back in your life, you would say that all your life that God has been faithful to you. When you look back again and you think, you'd have said the same thing, that all your life that God has been good to you. And every time you meet a point of depression, always think back. Think back. Think back. And you know what is good? You're alive. We are alive. So we're able to even give God thanks even for this moment. And she has made a promise. But we should ask ourselves the question, have I been faithful all my life to God? If not, you have at times, you still have an opportunity to seek forgiveness because you're living, and to surrender your heart to Him. Let us pray. Most kind and loving and heavenly Father, we are grateful for your love that you have bestowed upon us. We are grateful for the promise that you have made to give us an expected end. We are grateful for the thoughts that you have towards us, thoughts of peace and not of evil. But even though, so Lord, we are not deserving of these thoughts. We're not deserving of your faithfulness, but we thank God that you are a God of love. Lord, at this point, we don't come before you as saints, but as sinners, asking you for forgiveness of our sins that we have trespassed against you, as we forgive those, O Lord, that have trespassed against us. Father, I just want to put before you the students who are preparing for the C.S.E.C, Human and Social Biology exams, and other exams. But I put them before you this evening once again, knowing that you are God, knowing that all things are possible through you. And Father, we are asking and we are believing and we are claiming the positive results in this exam in the name of Jesus Christ. We are claiming all of this, dear God. Father, let these students know that it is not I to whom they should give credit, but credit to you, O God. All glory go to you. And Lord, as they prepare for this exam, pray, O God, that they will see that with you, through you, there is still time to be successful, but they also need to work hard because you have said that faith without work is dead. So I pray, O Lord, that you remind them, you that are speaking to them, dear God, that they recognize that so as they hear your voice, they will see the need to put out more effort than they have been putting out. Father, we pray that your name will be glorified in this exam results. Be with every student, students in the Zoom session, students who are on YouTube, students across the Caribbean who are preparing for exams. Be with them now, we pray. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, so we're going to move further. And of course, we move into our health talk, which is very important. Last week, we looked at preventing cancer of the brain. And today we'll be talking about preventing liver cancer. Now, of course, to prevent the liver cancer, it is of importance to increase vegetable intake. Should eat your vegetables, your green leaf vegetables, all vegetables. Increase in beta carotene, provitamin A. That also contribute to preventing liver cancer. What you should eliminate. You should eliminate, well, I know this is one of many persons' favorite, but it's not worth it if it's going to take your life. So I encourage you to eliminate pork from your diet. Wine, some persons deceive themselves thinking that a little wine is good, but that is not so. Grape, unalcoholic wine is good, but not the alcoholic wine. So eliminate the wine from your diet. Moldy foods are those with alpha-toxin residue, right? You probably could Google that information to find out what they mean by those categories of food. So I encourage you, as you can see a mango there, you can get your vitamin A from your fruits and vegetables. So just another health talk, encouraging you all to do better with your diet so that you can remain healthy and do well. All right. So before we get into our lesson, last week we looked at the eye. We spent some time looking at the eye, and of course, you know what the quiz is based on today. So what if a request was made to do the quiz today first? So we're going to do the quiz first. Not much questions this evening, so we have about 20 something questions. All right. So we have 20 something questions, and so let us get to our questions first. Then we will proceed to tonight's lesson. We're going to take a look at our syllabus, where we're at, or where I am at. So we have 23 questions for the quiz tonight. And of course, it's based on what we have studied last week. So I hope you had reviewed your lesson. And we have 2 more nights. We're not seeing Gabriella as yet, but last week we had Gabrielle as our winner. And of course, she'll win herself. She has 2 more matches to win herself. So tonight is the 14th. Oh, 3 more matches. No, not the, tonight is the, yes, it's the 14th. So we have 2 more matches to go. So if there's anyone on YouTube wishes to participate in our 2 weeks marathon, then you still have 2 more opportunities, but the person with the highest number of wins in this month will get that opportunity. So I'm going to put the quiz now in the chat area. And I hope you have been finding these quiz useful. Of course, it will certainly help you to know where you are, where your knowledge is concerned, and therefore, advise you to how much more work you need to put in. All right, so the quizzes are out in Zoom and of course in YouTube. All right, so wait on you guys to log on to the quiz now, please. So for us to start. So Terry says on. She is on, waiting on those persons from YouTube to join us now. All right, waiting for the persons from YouTube to join us, please. All right, Elaine is on. That's 3 persons. Yvette, where are you? Waiting for us to start. "23 questions. All right, waiting on you to start, Vivette. Giving you 5 minutes. So you guys can take the 5 minutes to revise your notes on the I, if you had made any. And some of those questions are C.X.C past paper questions. Some of them, just a few of them. Just giving a taste of what it is. Next week, we'll go more C.X.C past paper questions for human and social biology, so that you can get a taste of the paper one and how quick you are able to answer those questions. All right. All right, so Yvette, time is going, you know. Time is going, Yvette. Where are you? All right, we're going to start. What event you have to join? We're going to start. Let's go. Okay, good start, Elaine. That answer would have been the iris. Very good. Good job. Let's continue. All right, let us join. Okay, Terry says now in second place. All right, let's continue. Nobody got that correct? All right, let's continue. That answer would have been the optic nerve. You got it correct, but you didn't select it. Nobody get this correct? The retina. Like seriously? What did I study that, man? Refers to the layer of receptor cells at the back of the eye in which the image is focused. The retina.
Sir, I'm answering the questions. I don't know how you're not getting them.
You're not getting it?
I answered the questions correctly.
So you select it correctly?
Yes, sir.
Hold on. There it is now. Oh, all right. So all of you got this correct. That's good. I needed to refresh it. That's why. That's the iris. Okay, Ashe is in first, with it in second. That's looking good. Back of the eye takes light and changes the nerve signals. So Vivet is in second. Okay. Teresa's on top. Well, it's getting very competitive now. Okay. Who will win tonight? Let's see who will win tonight. Good night to those persons who are watching us live on our YouTube channel. We have just started, but we are running our competition first. If you feel free to join us, the link is in the chat. And so far, we have Teresa in the lead and Ashay in second. So it says change in the focal length of an eye lens is caused by the action of the ciliary muscles. It is now in second place. Okay. Leaderboard. Okay, Teresa is still leading, not by far. Vet is in second place. Come on, Elaine, climb to the top. This one is long-sightedness. Let's continue. Okay, Vivetta's now taking over. There's no one leader. Okay, it's competitive. If you're just joining us live on YouTube, we are running our weekly quiz competition. Feel free to join us. The link is in the chat. If you're just joining us live on YouTube, you may join the competition by clicking on the link in the YouTube chat. We have 23 questions. Nobody got an answer for this one? During the accommodation, if ciliary muscles contract up close, what do they do? Accommodating objects far away? Okay, the answer is relax. Did not study the diagrams, huh? Ciliary muscles contract up close. So which image shows accommodation of nearby objects? Okay. Come, Elaine, come on. The eye is part of which section of the nervous system? Let's see which eye you chose. Teresa is on top. By 60 points. It is in fact the peripheral nervous system. Well, this one is accommodation. So nobody ever know the answer for this one? Like seriously? We have 3 more questions to go. Okay, Teresa is in the lead. Okay. All right, so now we're gonna go into 3 C.X.C type questions. Just giving a taste of the C.X.C type questions. Next week will be all C.X.C paper 1 questions. If you're just joining us, try to make it to that segment. So we have all C.X.C type paper 1 questions. So every Wednesday night, we look at the paper 1 questions for human and social biology exams. And it's okay. Elaine has stepped up. That means that Elaine has gotten that one correct. Very good. Everybody got it correct. We have lost. We have seemed to have lost Ashe. To the following treatment is best for cataract of the eye. Our second to last question. It's an easy one. Nobody? Gosh, it's an intake of daily supplements of vitamin E. Vitamin E is good for the eyes. They shouldn't have gotten that one wrong. Yeah, man, that one tricky though. Final question. Final question for the night. The easy one. Okay, so the results remain the same. One person got this right. Where the arm meets the shoulder. You don't know where the arm meets the shoulder? Right here. Okay. All right, so the one person got that correct. All right, so we have come to the end of our Wednesday night quiz. So we're going to be looking at just reviewing the questions, and then we're going to go straight into our lesson for tonight. All right, so congratulations to you, Teresa. You have won another game. Congratulations to Vivette. You have come second. You need to win a match. I have not seen you win a match. Need to try and win a match. All right. Alicia wasn't on tonight, neither did Gabrielle. And we have lost. Well, congratulations, Elaine. You came third tonight. We didn't, and we have lost Ashe. All right, so let's look at some of the questions, review the questions quickly. The first answer here, you have to learn to get yourselves familiar with the diagram. So you can get back to the, if you're on both Yvette and Elaine can get back to going looking on the screen on YouTube. All right, so let's go. So it says number 3. So to identify number 3. Did you get this one correct, Teresa? Teresa, you got this one correct? Or you're the one who
didn't answer the first one.
Oh, you didn't answer this one.
The first one.
Okay.
So my child was distracting me.
Oh, you're blaming it on the child now. Okay.
No, sir, I keep telling him to go to his room, but he don't want to.
Okay. Well, number 3 refers to the iris, right? It refers to the circular structure that surrounds the pupil and regulates the amount of light entering the eye. So you have to know the structure and its function. See, very important to know the structure and its function. Good. Let's look at the next question. Number 1 on the chart refers to the clear tissue that covers the front of the eye. And I did mention it in last week's class.
I get that one correct.
Oh, so you were the only one who got it correct then. The cornea. Good. Remember I told you that if the cornea becomes contaminated, that is what causes conjunctivitis, right? I pause to say good night to our other viewers who have just arrived. If you're just arriving,
Turn on TV.
the classes, you have missed the quiz. You have missed participate in the quiz. So if you could you just say good night in the chat so we can identify you by name. All right, but welcome to CDP Labs Edu Services. All right, so the answer for this question was the cornea. And remember now, if the conjunctivitis is related to the disease of the cornea, unhealthy cornea, right? All right, number 2 refers to the pupil. So here we have a diagram again. You have to know how to identify the structures. And as I've always been preaching, like Paul, preaching like Noah, when Noah was saying to the people that God was going to destroy the earth with a flood, they did not believe him, and the flood did come. Don't let Mr. Bernard be telling you guys to do this and you don't do it. I've been telling you guys to create your models so you can use them for presentations and so forth. You see, it's going to come back and haunt you if you didn't do it. All right. So, but 3 of you got this one correct. So that was job well done. All right. So 4 of you got this one correct. Number 7 refers to the part of the eye that carried visual information from the eyeball to the brain, and that was obviously the optic nerve. So all of you got those correct. 50% of you answered this one. Number 5 refers to the layer of the septa cells at the back of the eye in which image is focused, and the answer is still the retina. The image is focused on the retina. Good. Now, the white part of the eye made up of a tough material. There you go, the cilia. All right. Now, the colorful part of the eye controls light going into the pupil. So you have to know a certain characteristics and function of the different parts of the eye. So the iris is colorful, of course. This is why, let me tell you how you know the iris. You say that some persons have blue eye, right? Blue eye, cat eye. The colorful part that you're looking at when you look at a person's eye, that is the iris that you're looking at. So when you're looking at a person's eye, you see it's colorful, that is the part that you're looking at, is the iris. So that is the iris of the eye, okay? So the colorful part of the eye and its function is to control the light going into the pupil. And you know that, right? Back of the eye takes light. So we have a repetition with some questions. So however a question is stated, you will know exactly the answer for it. So the back of the eye takes light and changes into the nerve cells. So remember I told you last week that the retina is the receptor of the eye. So it receives the light intensity, passes that. So the retina itself is made up of nerve cells itself, rods and cones. Those are nerve cells that receives light intensity, whether it's a dim light or bright light, and then that information is passed on to the brain via the optic nerve. Okay. Now, carries messages from the eye to the brain. Of course, optic nerve again. Change in focal length of an eye adjustment. So talking about adjustment here. Good. We're talking about adjustment here. Now, so what does the what controls the adjustment, which is accommodation again, which is ciliary muscles. All right, 3 persons answered it correct. All right, the human eye can focus objects at the different distances by adjusting the focal length of the eye lens, and this is due to accommodation. So everybody, most persons got that correct. Very good. A person with that, oh, I see. You need to know the scientific name for short blindness and how it is in fact corrected. And this is corrected by concave lens, short-sightedness rather, okay? Name the corrective lens, and this one is for the long-sightedness. So you need to know the medical terms, just in case the exam do not use a layman term, you'll be able still to identify the eye defect with the medical term. Rod cells of retina corresponds to, and the answer is the light sensitivity. Not the size of the sensitivity, light sensitivity, which is the dark light, darkness. So you can see the color sensitivity refer to bright light, and the light sensitivity, which is the dark light, refers to the rod cells. So the cone cells is for the, would have been, if it was a cone cells of the retina, that would correspond to the color sensitivity. Make note of that. All right. This one, the circular and radial muscles are responsible for the adjusting to light. So you see what I was telling you before? If you look around here, this is the iris, the colorful part of the eye. And then of course you have the pupil. Good. So the circular and radial muscles are responsible for adjusting light. You have to think in order to answer that question as well. During accommodation, if the ciliary muscles contract up close, what do they do accommodating objects far away? Relax. This was an obvious answer. Must have done the opposite. Good. Must have done the opposite. Ciliary muscles contract up close. So which image shows accommodation of nearby objects? You'd have to know the type of lens, and that would have been B. Good. That would have been B. Now, the eye is a part of which section of the nervous system? It is the peripheral nervous system. So make note of that. The eye is a part of which section of the nervous system? The answer to that is the peripheral nervous system. Adapting the eye to see different distances. Like the answer is still accommodation. The diagram shows a section through part of the human eye. When a person looks at an object which is close to their eye, which of the following takes place? And this is based on the notes. And the correct answer is the suspensory ligaments slacken, lens becomes fatter. We did this in class just last week. So the question is, I'm feeling a bit down, because I'm sensing that persons are not working hard enough.
Sir, I get this one correct. So
you got this one correct. Oh, I shouldn't feel bad.
This.
Oh, okay, Teresa. All right, fine. Okay. All right. But I wish more persons would study, All right. Okay. 21. So everybody got this one correct. The human eye forms a clear image of an object on its retina. So this is a C.X.C. past paper question. This is also.
Sir, you hearing me?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm hearing you. Yes.
I'm having laptop issue again. So I'm not seeing you. I can't do anything on the screen. I'm just gonna turn it off and then log on.
Yes, no problem.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So question number 22. Which of the following treatments
This
is
laptop is so
best for cataract of the eye? And the answer to that question is the intake of daily supplements of vitamin E. And our final question for tonight, a ball and socket joint is located where the arm meets the shoulder. So those are the questions. Well done again for this quiz tonight. Well done to the vets for coming second and for Elaine for coming third. And of course, Teresa won the match tonight. All right, so that's the review of our questions, 23 questions based on the eye. Now, we're going to look at where we're at with the C.X.C syllabus. That's what we're going to be looking at now. So as we await those persons who are in Zoom to get back to clear up their technical difficulties, we're going to look at where we have, what we have looked at in the syllabus thus far. If you have just joined us in YouTube, just want to say good night to you. Each night, each week, each Wednesday night, we do our weekly quiz, and this is to prepare students for section 1 or paper 1 rather of the syllabus. So, and it also is a check to see where you are in your studies, how much knowledge you have, and how quickly you can respond to questions under exams condition. So we giving you this quiz on a weekly basis. It's just a way of helping you to get an experience how you can respond to multiple choice questions under exam conditions. Next week, Wednesday, this time we will be focusing on mostly past paper questions. So our last 3 questions tonight was past paper questions. So next week, Wednesday this time, of course, we're focusing on 30 multiple choice C.X.C paper 1 multiple choice questions. So get yourself prepared. You'll be tested across the syllabus just to see exactly where you are at this point. All right, give me a second, please. Right. Do apologize for that short break. Okay, Mr. Isa, welcome back.
do apologize for that short break.
Welcome back, ma'am. All right, so last week, yes, I'm here.
Yes, said yes, sir.
Okay, so we have covered the divisions of the nervous system. You know about the brain, the spinal cord. You know about the cerebellum. You know where to identify, where to find, locate these structures, and you know their functions. Good. We have covered looking at the difference between a neuron and a nerve. One is a part of, one is a group of. Good. You also know about their characteristics. We did this in class. And we looked at the motor neuron and the sensory neuron. So you know about the reflex action. Right? We looked at so we have looked at the eye last week, and they have been tested on the eye. Relate internal structures of the eye to their functions. And that's exactly what you were tested on. The diagram what to be included. And of course, you were tested on that. Explain how the images are formed in the eye. Last week we looked at that. So of course, you must be able to do that. We looked at accommodation last week. You're examining on that again. And this is a C.X.C syllabus that we're looking at here. To describe the causes of and corrective measures of the eye. We looked at this last week. And again, you were tested on this today. Now, I was giving you an assignment for yourself. You see, cataract came in the question today as well. So you have two other diseases that you must look at, astigmatism and glaucoma. Maybe next week we'll look more at that in detail. So do your research so you can participate and discuss those diseases. So now we're going to be looking at the endocrine system. That's where we're going to go for tonight. So our lesson tonight will be based on the endocrine system. All right, Teresa, you're the only one in Zoom tonight. Tell me, what is this picture saying to you? What is this picture saying to you, Teresa?
Something is happening, so it's running.
Yeah.
So it's running from something.
Running from something.
Yes, sir.
And the man says, run for your life, run for your life. So therefore, what could be happening in his body? Running for his life. What could be happening in his body? What do you think could be happening inside of his body now?
Probably some bacteria in there or something.
Cause him to run. So was he frightened? He look like, seems like he's frightened, much frightened, don't it?
Yes.
Scared, frightened. Good. Now we're going to look at what enabled this gentleman to run for his life, right? Or this cartoon person to run for his life. I want to hear from Vivette and Elaine and other persons who are watching us live on YouTube. I'm seeing 7 persons. You could say something in the chat, you know, at least say good night so we know that you're there, so we can recognize you. All right. All right, so let's look at what happened. Now, before we go to that, the syllabus requires you to know, to be able to identify by picture, by diagram, where you can find the different endocrine glands. Good. So we have the pituitary gland, which is of course in the head, right there in the brain, area of the brain there. You have the hypothalamus, and you have the pineal gland. Good. You have the thyroid gland, thymus gland. You have the adrenal glands. You have the pancreas. And we know about the pancreas. What are the two hormones that the pancreas secretes? What are the two hormones that the pancreas secretes? What are the two hormones that the pancreas secretes? Teresa, do you know? What are the two hormones that the pancreas secretes? Anybody in YouTube knows? Vivek or Elaine? What are the two hormones that the pancreas secretes?
Insulin.
Insulin, that is one, that's correct. What's the next one? What's the next one? What's the next one?
Is glycogen a hormone?
Okay, I know sometimes I mix it up with glycogen and glucagon, right?
Glucagon, that's what I'm talking. Glucagon.
All right, good. Well, everybody's supposed to know this one now. Every female is supposed to know the ovary glands. Good. Everybody's supposed to know the ovary. And those are glands, of course. And of course, we have the for the men, we know the testis or testicles. Good. So should be able to some of the common now let me say something. If you want to recall these names and be able to identify where these are, again, I'm going to repeat myself. Sorry. You have to I would draw a diagram like this one here, this diagram here, but I would not label them. I would not label them. So I would have to practice to call them by name and to also state their function. And human and social biology, really, if the secret to human and social biology is really three things: knowing the name of the structure, knowing the function of the structure, and knowing the disease that affects the structure or the system. Because you see, once a structure is unable to carry out its function, it means that something is wrong with it. And the condition that relates to its not functioning as it should is referred to a disease, because now the structure becomes unhealthy. It's not healthy, it's sick. The structure is actually sick. So if you really want to pass human and social biology exam, when you're studying, when you're revising, because you should be in revision mode at this point, when you're revising or studying, if you want to study a system, don't just only identify the structure. Don't just only state the function, but also you look into your syllabus and you find what are the diseases listed in the syllabus and which of these diseases relates to the functioning of the system that you are studying. So for example, that you're studying the digestive system, then you must be talking about diabetes type 1 and 2. You must be talking about gastroenteritis. You must be talking about cholera, diseases that affect the digestive system. Good. You will be talking about dialysis, with a kidney failure, right? Now, if you're going to talk about the circulatory system, you must be talking about heart diseases, right? So don't just study um function and structure and then later when you study disease. No, 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 that don't make any sense. That is a waste of time. You study all of them together. So you get your unlabeled diagram like this. So you don't label it, and you say, okay, I'm going to be looking at the respiratory system. And you know that there's a gland, you notice that the respiratory system speak about asthma, bronchitis, pneumonia. Try to find out what are the causes of these diseases. So what really went wrong with the organ or the system, why it's diseased. It's very important to do all of that. All right. Now, what you saw happen to the man a while ago is that the adrenal gland produced an hormone called the adrenaline. And what it really does is to prepare the man a while ago for a flight. He was in fact taking a flight. Okay. He wasn't fighting anyone, but he was in fact taking a flight. He was running away. He was taking a flight. I don't know if he was on JetBlue or he was running faster than Usain Bolt. But the adrenaline, even when you're nervous, nervousness is good when you're an athlete because it allows the adrenaline to flow and prepare you for a flight. Now it helps to dilate the pupils. Good. It helps to increase the heart rate. And the heart rate has to increase because when the heart rate is increasing, it causes the blood to flow, more blood to flow and faster as well. Um, it also boosts the oxygen and the glucose supply. Reason being, that man running away obviously needed energy. And when you talk about glucose and oxygen, you're talking about the ingredients, good, that is needed for cooking up energy, then put it that way, in the mitochondria of the cells, which is basically cellular respiration taking place right there. Good. So bear that in mind. So when you see that, next time you see somebody running fright, you know, I was going to use a particular picture on it, but because we're streaming live on YouTube, YouTube have certain rules or certain pictures I could not use. But if you're thinking about, if you live in a garrison area, what some persons refer to as the projects in the States or the ghettos, so a lot of things happening those there, and you might hear a sound. And because when you hear that sound, it's so bow, you get frightened. Your adrenaline start to prepare your body now to run, right? To run. And of course, the heart rate is going to increase. It's going to say the heart rate is like the fireman, the fire brigade. So you hear the siren, woo, woo, woo. So guess what happened now? Now tell oxygen and glucose to get, come on, oxygen, come on, lungs, lungs. So the lungs now, of course, you know, the lungs is now going to start to what? Inhale. So all of those muscles know that would cause the lungs to inhale, to take in oxygen. And then now the blood going to start to circulate now. So you see that everybody start to work. If you recognize now in the world that if there's an accident, you're not only going to see the police, but you're also going to see the fire brigade. Yes, right? So the disaster risk management. So the adrenaline gland takes place of disaster risk management in your life, in your body. Good. External stimulus. God says, listen, some things on the outside is trying to attack the body. Good. So guess what? We need some energy to run. So of course, the liver is going to convert the stored glucose into glucose, so that the cells can now open up. The muscle cells can open up quickly to receive the glucose, and then the oxygen going to also diffuse into the cell. The cell decides, so guess what? Now we have to cook up some energy now, quick and fast, and release it quick and fast, so the muscles can carry out its work. and you escape safely. So God is good, right? God is marvelous. All right, let's continue. Now, what is this picture depicting? What is this picture telling us? Teresa, what's the picture telling us?
He's thirsty, he's drinking some water.
He's thirsty, he's drinking from water. Okay, okay. All right. So he's thirsty and he's drinking water. Okay. I wasn't seeing the text in the chats earlier, so I want to. Oh, Vivette says she was a bit nervous, but she congratulates Elaine and of course to you, Teresa. Elaine says, "Sir, this was a bit. Sir, this one beat me. Really? All right, sir. I did mine already. It kind of mashed me up. Oh, hush, my darling. All right, so we're seeing Reverend Adrian Ellis. Good night, sir. Ellis here. Good night. Teacher of HSB from Art NSTA Trust. Okay, wonderful. Happy to have you, Reverend Adrian Ellis. And we're seeing okay, you see okay. So we see that Vivette was answering some questions there. Adrenaline glands releases adrenaline, flight and fight hormone. Then Vivette also says that what did Vivette say? Vivette also says insulin glucagon was there. Well, good night, Beverly. I'm just seeing this text. My apologies. Good night to you, Beverly. Theophilus. All right. You should have done the quiz. All right. Oh, so Vivette said the boy is thirsty. And earlier you saw me drinking some water. I'm still thirsty right now. But let us talk about what is it that happened in this young man's body that led him to go and let him start to feel thirsty now and go into the go towards the pipe itself. Let's look at that now. Ready? Let's go. Now, can you identify this structure for me, please? Could you identify that structure for me?
Structure, sir?
Yes, this structure right here.
The whole entire thing?
No, man, this thing here with the cup-like shape thing and the S like upside down S. Okay, good night, Nikita. All right, good night, Mr. Reverend Adrian Ellis. Good night, Sir Ellis. Yes, tell me about that now, please.
About it are the name.
No. Give me the name.
The nephron, sir.
The nephron. Oh, you're learning. Your memory is working. That's very good. It is in fact the nephron. All right. And by the way, just by way of checking your memory again, what's the name of this blue shape? This blue shape reminds you of what? What's the name of this part of that structure?
Bowman capsule.
Bowman's capsule. You sure you're not looking in your book?
Sir, not in my book.
Okay, Vivita says that's the Bowman's capsule. Okay, very good, Vivita. Vivette, sorry. Nikita said maybe something happened and he reacted to it by running. Oh, you're referring to the picture before, Nikita. Welcome to CDP Labs and the Services. And I also welcome Mr. Adrian Ellis again to CDP Labs and your services. All right. Now, if you look carefully on our diagram here, the little boy's body was dehydrated. Little boy's body was dehydrated. Good. Yes, you're also correct too, Beverly. It was the Bowman capsule. That was correct indeed. Now, the little boy's body was dehydrated. Good. And dehydrated means that there was not much water. So what happened is that now the pituitary, the posterior pituitary, the hypothalamus sent a message, good, to the pituitary and said, listen, man, listen, the water balance, there's not much water in his body. Let's use some layman terms. The young man body is running out of water. I will need some water. So what happens is that now more water is absorbed, good, right at the collecting duct right there. So the collecting duct will start to absorb more water. So it closes up the pores. So it's not permeable anymore. It's not allowing water to leave the body. Good. And of course, it causes him to become what? Thirsty. So an increase in the antidiuretic hormone causes the young man to become thirsty. All right. Nikita, I see that you're answering a few questions here. Insulin and glucagon. Those are the two hormones that was in fact secreted by and produced by the pancreas. Very good, Nikita. All right. Now, when he's not thirsty and there's too much water, he has drunk too much excess water, then of course his body is well hydrated, so there less ADH will be secreted in his blood, and of course less water will be absorbed, and of course he'll be going to the bathroom more frequently to urinate. All right, so that is how the role of the antidiuretic hormone. Good. All right, and of course this is the role of it, and it is produced by the pituitary gland. All right, or triggered off by the pituitary gland. Okay, sir. All right. Okay, sir. Reverend Ellis, and happy to have you here, sir. All right. All right. So let's continue. All right. So another gland, the thyroid gland, it controls how quickly body burns energy. Yes, yes, yes. And it makes proteins, of course. So you see, our body makes its own protein. So when people talking about that they need certain things to have protein, that is not necessarily true. The body will take the plant-based protein and consume it, and then the body will use the amino acids and form its own protein. Good. All right, Vivette, I saw that. I saw that. All right. Now, and how sensitive the body should be to other hormones. So basically, the thyroid controls how quickly the body burns energy. All right. Good. All right. So let us. All right. So we're going to end our lesson shortly right here. And then I will just get into a bit of advice to you guys. Now, the syllabus asks to state a few differences between the nervous system and the endocrine system. Good. Now, one of the obvious differences is that the mode, how they message you, is the nervous system is from electrical to chemical. It's really electrical. So and to talk about electrical impulses for the nervous system. Endocrine system refers to it is blood-borne. Now, the messengers for the nervous system, of course, you know, it is the neurotransmitters. So when it is when you have the vesicles stimulated, it releases the neurotransmitters, which will carry the message across the synapses to another neuron. Good. Of course, the hormones now are the chemical messengers for the endocrine system. So if you don't remember all of these differences, make sure you remember those two differences. All right. And of course, the nervous system responds faster than the endocrine system, which is of course slow. Good. And of course, the nervous system targets specific group of cells, but the endocrine system is indiscriminate, meaning that it does not discriminate. All right. All right. So basically, there's a few differences between the nervous system and the endocrine system. So as we draw to the close of tonight's class, we will not have any. All right. So I've come to the end of tonight's class. It was short, but we're going to look at some important things at this point. Just going to take it to a past paper question now. Just going to take it to a past paper question. This is a January 2020 paper. The January 2020 paper, this. Are you there, Teresa?
Yes, sir, I'm still here.
Okay. January 2020 paper. Now, the exam, it is 2 hours long. All right. Just looking at some exam techniques and how you can best prepare yourself for exams. All right. But just before we look at this past paper, I just want to remind those of you who are watching us via the YouTube channel that we begin our marathon in May, the last 2 weeks in May. And of course, we might do a bit of streaming in June, July, thereabout. But our oh, thank you very much, Vivette. You like my orange cup? I don't know what you mean. Well, I don't have any green cups, but but you like my orange cup. Okay, Vivette. I like it too. Trust me. All right. Exams begin in June. Don't quite remember the date for the human and social biology, but I know that the paper one is in July. All right. So you still have a good length of time to prepare for exams, but our intense marathon session begins in May. 2 weeks of intense preparation in the month of May for the
Queen.
last 2 weeks in May. And the first 2 weeks in May will be our January classes. All right. So let's look at this. Now, this paper consists of 6 questions in 2 sections. And note, it says you must do all questions. Right? You must do all questions. Right, Teresa?
Yes, sir.
So let's look at the timing now. So the paper says 6 questions in 2 sections. You must answer all questions. And it's 2 hours. 2 hours is 120 minutes. And you're supposed to do 6 questions. That simply means how much minutes do you have to spend on one question? It's 120 minutes divided by 6. So you cannot spend no more than 20 minutes answering any of the exam questions this year. You cannot spend no more than 20 minutes answering the exam questions. And what normally takes up people energy and time in the exam is because you're trying to remember things. But there's a technique you have to use to run through this. Now, let's look at the questions. Now, question number 1, it's very good to we looked at it wasn't this class, it was my new students. Those my new students. Oh, Nikita said the 20th. Are you referring to when the exam is in June? Is that what you're saying, Nikita? When the exam is? Well, no. Read the question for me, Teresa.
The table below shows the source of energy of several organisms. We have a blackbird, a mango tree, a mouse, and a heart. Source of energy. So I have to read all of those?
Yeah, why not?
All right, so organism, blackbird, source of energy, seed, fruits, insect. We have a mango tree, solar energy converted to simple sugar. We have a mouse, seed and grass, a hawk, mice, and bird. From the table above, identify the organism which is a producer.
Okay, what's the answer for this?
The mango tree.
Mango tree, okay. And herbivore?
I keep forgetting those.
Now you can use a root name. What's the root name of herbivore? So if the root name is herb, what does that remind you of? Herbs. So let's go herbs. What do you think of?
Plants.
So the herbivore. So the herbivore would have been what then? You think about plants. The herbivore is what then?
A mouse.
Good. Anything that eat plants, right?
Yes, sir.
So you see, it's not a matter of memory. Good. Oh, DD. Good evening, DD. How you doing? The DD says mouse. Good evening, DD. Good evening. I don't understand in a DD. You have been watching all along. You didn't answer nothing. I don't understand the DD. How comes? How comes? All right. So Vivette said plants, but so herbivore eat only plant-based food. Their source of energy is only plant-based for the herbivore. Good. So the seeds and the grass. So the herbivore in the table is the mouse. What about the carnivore?
We're trying to use to remind you of that one, sir.
Carny.
Carny.
Yeah, carny.
No, sir.
Carny. Carnivore. Carnivore.
I know, only animal, only meat, sir.
Only meat. Good. Only animals. So what will be the answer? What's the carnivore?
Hawk.
The hawk. Yes, not hawk, but the hawk. Okay, Didi say work. Okay.
Omnivore would be plants and animal.
Plants and animal. You see? You see, just relax and think. You see, all you have to do is just relax and think. It'll take nothing out of you. Just relax and think. Easy 4 marks. So when you go into the exam, you just relax. Just relax and execute. Cannot afford to lose those 4 marks, right? So January last year exam was a walkover. B for that question. Read B for me, please.
State the process by which energy enter the food chain.
Okay. All right. Now we would have to think about this question. But 1 second there. I see your answers, Nikita. You said hawk, and your answers are correct. Hawk, and Didi says the blackbird was an omnivore. Omnivore, that's correct as well. See your answers, Didi. It is in fact an omnivore. All right. So state the process. Now, when we talk about the word process, what could we talk about? What are some of the processes, that are the life processes that you know is in biology? What are some of the life processes that you have studied so far in biology, in human and social biology? When you go in school, you click on that folder, it always says life processes. If you pay attention to your assignments, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. What are some of the life processes that we study in biology?
Win. That's nice.
Enters the food chain. How do you think energy enters the food chain? What do you think?
So I passes from one to the other.
Think about it. All right. You know what?
Yes, sir.
There was a student that I told to draw. I wanted to draw the question. Draw a picture that depicts the question. All right. I'm seeing Vivette says nutrition. Nutrition.
Food chain.
No. How it enters the food chain. It's not, the process is not nutrition. Try again, Vivette.
Oh, that's
Didi said from sunlight. Well, all right. Well, some of these words are there, but I want each of you to draw the question. Draw a picture that would depict the question. Try and draw a picture that would depict the question. All right, Didi, you're correct. You're finally correct. Destiny Cole said the sun. That is Tarsha. Nikita says pass between the organisms. Well, Didi got the answer correct. Come draw a picture, Tarsha. I mean, Teresa. Yes, Didi, your answer is correct. Oh, you're talking about life processes with Vivette. Well, it would more be nutrition is okay, yes. Feeding, yes.
Yes, I mean. Go in your room.
But the answer to the question would have been what Didi says. But I look what Didi said, not Teresa.
Sir, I'm trying to figure. You know I'm on what, sir?
I know you're on YouTube as well.
Sir, I'm not on YouTube. I was just on it when the thing.
Okay. Well done, Didi. The answer is correct, Sister Didi. Your answer is correct.
So I don't know what to draw. Honestly.
No, man. Think of something to draw, man.
I'm thinking. All right, let's see.
So those on YouTube, while Teresa is trying to figure out the answer for B part 1, you can try to figure out the answer for B part 2. State the process by which energy leaves the food chain. So Didi was correct for that one. What is at the beginning of the food chain? Teresa, what is at the beginning of the food chain? What's the first organism in the food chain?
Answer.
Plant. So how does energy enters the plant? By
Sorry,
what
what I
process?
was thinking.
What were you thinking? Oh, you're drawing something. Oh, let me see.
So I don't know if you can see it. I draw a sun, and then I have some plants.
Oh, so you drew that first.
Yes, sir, the sun.
So
And
all
then
right, sun on the plant. So what happened right there, so? What word to come to your mind, the sun on the plant?
photosynthesis.
That is it. Photosynthesis. Oh, and you me tell draw last week. No, me tell somebody for draw man. And you same man me tell for draw. Yes, man. You same one me tell for draw last week. And you never draw. All right. So yes, producer. Oh, destiny causes leave it by movement. Oh, really? No, go so destiny code. All right. So so Teresa drew the question and was able to come up with the answer. So one technique that you can use to drag your memory, if you're not remembering readily, is to draw a picture to depict the question. So it working for you, Teresa, but you're not. Teresa, why when they tell you to do something, you don't practice to do it? Honestly, why? That is what my spirit down.
I don't know what to draw that thing.
No, but you must think to find out what to draw. Like seriously. Okay, the answer is photosynthesis. All right, very good for Didi. She gave the answer correct first. Now that you have drawn that, state the process by which energy now leaves the food chain. How does energy leaves the food chain? How does energy leaves the food chain? How does energy leaves the food chain? All right, DD, I hope you're not cutting and pasting, DD. That's correct. That is correct, DD. I hope you're not cutting and pasting.
Sir, carbon.
What was that word?
Carbon.
Carbon. Have you drawn a picture? How does energy leave the food chain? Have you drawn a picture to think about
In
that?
my mind, sir, in my head.
No, Teresa, man.
Sir,
Teresa. Honestly, I'm being irritated. No, Vivette, it's not osmosis.
Sir,
Teresa, I'll tell you the truth.
through photosynthesis.
I'll tell
So
you the truth. I'll tell you the truth. I'll tell you the truth. You see, if you know what I do, I'm tell you if it don't make no sense.
sir,
No, don't call me sir. If you not do what I tell you to do, it doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. I'm trying to give you techniques, you're not following them at all. So you're the point of one. Let me just keep it those right. Let me just
Sir,
be the
but I'm
people on
answering the
YouTube.
question. It's not like I'm not answering. I am answering, sir.
Okay, Didi, you're practicing your answering techniques. Very good, Didi. Have to practice the answering techniques. And you now do nothing serious. Yeah, Joe.
Sir, the leaving one, sir. Actually, sir, I'm thinking what to draw. And I come up with carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide.
Sir.
So carbon dioxide leaves it. So if carbon dioxide is leaving, what process would that? What's the name of the process for that? If carbon dioxide is leaving. So when carbon dioxide is leaving, what's the name of the process that liberates carbon dioxide?
Respiration.
That's the answer. Respiration. Respiration is the answer.
How would I draw that, sir?
No, what the drawing does, Teresa, it causes you to start thinking more about the question. That is the idea, get you to think rather than staring at the question. Remember, you can't spend more than 20 minutes on an exam question. So you have to think the thing through. So getting up, that's why I tell you, if I study with pictures, but you're not doing that. You're just not doing that. Why? If patient not care, doctor can't care again. You know? Tell the truth. All right. So now is another question. And students, pictures are very important to use. Yes, Vivette, it is respiration. Not trophic level, Vivette. No. Now, figure one is a biomass pyramid. And you need to look up the word biomass. What does it mean? Which shows the availability of energy and the number of organisms at each trophic level in a food chain. So let's look at it. Let's look at it. Let's look at this question. All right, you're also correct too, Beverly. Now it says figure one is a biomass pyramid, which shows the ability of energy, availability of energy, and the number of organisms at each trophic level in a food chain. Now, trophic level has to do with the position of the organism in the food chain. Bear that in mind. But what does the word biomass means? We'll talk about biomass. What do we mean by biomass? Do you know what I mean by biomass? What the word biomass means? We'll talk about the biomass. What does it mean, the biomass? What does it mean?
Sorry, Google is saying a renewable organic material that comes from plants and animals.
Renewable organic. All right. Okay. Now, the total quantity or weight of organisms in a given area. Good. So we'll talk about the biomass in biology here. It speaks to the number of or the total quantity or weight of organisms in a given area or volume. Good. So we'll talk about the biomass, life mass. Bio means life, mass means weight. Good. So let's look at the chart. Let's look at the chart. And when you get diagrams in exams, you have to make it get yourself familiar with the picture. Try to interact with the picture, get meaning from the picture. So when you look at the picture right here, what you notice, I want you to take a look at the picture itself and tell me what you observe. Now, energy is measured in joules, right? And that big number you see right here, that 25,600,000, that is obviously referring to the biomass, the number of organisms within a given area, right? So question, what you notice? What you observe?
Sorry, each level up, the biomass and the joules reduce.
Reduce, excellent. So all you have to do is just use your eyes, right? So as you go up the pyramid, you recognize that the energy level reduces, and of course, the biomass also reduces, right? They're gonna ask questions as to why this happened, right? And how you lose some of this energy. State two trends, and you did state the trends. You see now, just by getting yourself familiar with the picture, you'd have gotten your 2 marks easily. So technique. State two trends that are observed when moving from the base of the biomass pyramid to the top, and you just said it. Good. The biomass and the energy reduces. Excellent. Now, at which trophic level is the least amount of energy available?
Yeah.
At which trophic level?
Queen, come on.
At which trophic? Oh, what's the word?
Terry.
Tertiary. All right, and this question says now, suggest one reason why this food chain has 4 trophic levels only. Suggest one reason why this food chain has 4 trophic levels only. One reason. It has 4 trophic levels only. One reason. Think about it. One reason. And it's a suggestion. All right, so DD says tertiary. Okay. Suggest one reason why it only has 4 trophic levels. Oh, good night, Alicia. You're late. You're late, Alicia. You're late, bud. All right. Well, DD saying, yeah, go ahead. Let me hear.
Sorry, so energy decrease from a lower to a higher level.
Okay. So energy decrease from a lower to a higher level. Okay. All right. So all right. So DD saying because the loss of energy and biomass at each level food chains really can go further. Okay, that's our suggestion. Lisa is saying no more energy is available. Well, it could also be that there's no other organism that would have consumed the organism at the tertiary level. That could be it too, because I mean, it's not who says only 10 joule alone? So suppose it go up to 5 joule. All right, good. And it could be the type of food chain. Could be it could probably possibly be aquatic food chain and not necessarily a terrestrial food chain. It also depends on the type of food chain. Possibly could be a aquatic food chain. You understand? Or it could be a terrestrial food chain because eagles would not eat humans. You agree? You follow? Eagles don't eat humans unless it is a carcass. Only the only time the human body will be consumed as if it is a carcass, right? But it is evident that the tertiary consumer is a consumer that is not eaten by any other organism. That could be another reason as well. That the tertiary consumer is not eaten by any other organism. All right. Vivid is saying due to the loss of energy and biomass at each level, food chain really exceed 5 trophic level. Okay. All right. Good. So Didi says she understand. All right. Good. All right. So what? So that question is based on of course the section A of the syllabus. So you see, that was examined based on section A of the syllabus. Now, as I stop here for a minute, Teresa and everybody, last year when I taught that young lady in 2 weeks, and she got a grade 2 for the exam, what the rigorous preparation that she went through, she had to do presentation for each section of the syllabus. And each presentation has to include the objectives tested in each section of the syllabus. So you're winding down to the 2 weeks now. Winding down to the 2 weeks to the time when she in fact came for the exam, the preparation for the exam. So I don't know if you're waiting on that 2 weeks. I don't know if you can manage the pressure. But let us see. All right. Look at this diagram. What is A looking at? What is A pointing on? You just did the skeletal system lesson. Let's see if you watch the videos. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. What is A pointing on? Come,
So is that
Teresa.
the bicep muscle?
Bicep muscle. And what B would be now? B would be what now?
Tricep.
Triceps. All right. Are you sure? We're quite sure I'm going to ask that, right? Muscles A and B are referred to as antagonistic muscles. All right. Define the term antagonistic muscles. Let me tell you this now. You saw this information in the videos, right?
Yes, sir.
These videos were created in 2009. Yet in 2020, they are still relevant. That's the reason why you need to watch my videos. That's the reason why you need to make the models, the one that you can make a model for the hand. I mean, it's a model for this. Why not take it so lightly? Teresa, can you tell me why you take these things so lightly? Tell you what, I don't want any more videos. You know what I want? We're going to do presentations. Come next week to do a presentation on something. I don't want any more videos. I want presentations now. All right. What's the definition for antagonistic muscles?
Sir, antagonistic muscles is when one muscle contract for the hand to move while the other relax to for the body to return to its normal position.
Don't add anything to it. It's safe not to add to it. All right. You just have to, you're stating what they do, but they're happening. They're both relaxing. One is relaxing and contracting simultaneously to cause the hand to lift or to lower. All right. As Viveta saw your answer where it says triceps and biceps muscles, that was correct. Alicia said muscles that move opposite each other to create movement. That's an excellent answer, Alicia. That is the answer. You're not doing what you're supposed. The models is the power of the thing, you know. You're not. I can't say it anymore. Leave it alone. You pass, you pass. Part B. Yes, ma'am. May I say that? Because you fail to follow instruction, you must prepare to struggle in the exam. Here, remember I tell you that. Read part B, please. Yes, ma'am.
Susie hates to exercise because she does not like to feel sweaty. As a result, Susie's muscles have now become very soft and are lacking in tone.
Define the term muscle tone. Here we go, sir, now. If you don't know it, Google it.
Sir, Google answer said it's a tension in the muscle at rest.
Exactly. It's a state of partial contraction of the resting muscle. All right. All right. All right. So it just state the two benefits of having a well-toned muscles. Why is it important?
So it enables our body to respond quickly
What else?
to action.
What else? Posture, right? Good for posture, right? Balance and posture. It's also good for balance and posture as well. And of course, control development of certain diseases. All right. All right. So the skeletal system we see happening there. When I want to go through all the questions tonight. All right. Wow, 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 wow. Again. Mercy and Percy. Okay, so DD says balance and upright posture. That's correct. DD also says increases synovial fluid. Okay, very good. Now, well, identify A for me, please, and B and C.
A is the pituitary gland.
And B.
B is the thyroid gland.
Good. And C is
the ovary.
C is the ovary. Very good. So you see now again. Remember I said earlier in the when we were doing the I think the slide, the first slide on the endocrine system, and I said I need to have an unlabeled diagram. You see the reason I keep telling you and the other students to do what I ask you to do. And if you guys are not doing it, you're going to feel it. All right. All right. Now they're going to ask you the function for the pituitary gland, the function for the thyroid gland. I'm going to ask you probably what hormone is secreted by these glands, right? And you need to know these things. Good. So they identify organ A and C, then state the effect on the body if there's an excessive amount of hormone that is produced by organ B. Of course, you're going to lose a lot of weight, right? You're going to burn a lot of energy, right? So again, this is also the pancreas produces two hormones whose actions on the body oppose each other. Name the two hormones whose actions oppose each other. God is great. God is great. God is great.
Insulin and
Yeah, man.
glucagon.
Glucagon. Yeah, man.
That one. Those.
God is great. God is great. God is great. God is great. You see, we didn't eat. To be honest with you, I was not thinking of looking at the past paper tonight. But God is great is to show you a message tonight that you must pay attention to the instructions given by your instructor. I don't think I can say it any better than that tonight. This did not happen by chance. And I must say to you very much. But before I say that, let me acknowledge the responses given by Vivette. Very good. Answer is ovaries, thyroid gland, insulin, glucagon, and the destiny calls us insulin and glucagon. I know sometimes people mix up the glucagon and the glucagon. All right. Okay. All right. Good. All right. Wonderful. Now, I just wanted to recognize that this didn't happen by chance. And I keep telling and I keep telling, and every night, every week, I keep telling, and I'm not seeing any improvement. It's not how much notes you have in your book that make you pass an exam. When I said make the videos or do the presentations in class, that is what makes the difference. All the students who have done followed my instructions never get less than a grade 2. One person came 4 months before the exam, she got a grade 1. The other got a grade 2. This last year, the one who got 100% pass for HSB last year, actually. What's your plan? How much you plan to get? 3? This is the last night I'm talking about this. I see I was not in a nice mood today. Because yes, the assignments are coming in, but last night I'm talking about get an act together, man, please. Please. I like to be a happy man. Keep it that way. And I hope those persons on YouTube are also taking the advices that I've been given week after week. Because as you'll see, Didi mentioned, she's practicing her exam techniques. It's all about that. It's not about how much notes you have in your notebook. It's not how well you can write your answers in English. Because you can write the answer in English and the answer is wrong. Okay. Some of you like to write an essay, and the essay not even answer the question. Everything is a technique. Everything that works together as a technique. So everything I tell you to do to prepare for the exam is a technique. And the only way you're going to see that the technique is actually working, you'll start doing these past focus of the marathon. But if you're not prepared for the marathon, then what is sense to be a part of the marathon? Do a word. You have 2 weeks left in April. Pretend that these last 2 weeks in April is the last 2 weeks before the exam, and follow my instructions, please. I'm begging you. You have to make some sacrifice now. You have to set some standards for yourself now towards this exam. Set some standards for yourself. What's your standard? Is your standard to get a grade 1 or what? What's your standard? And if you're going to set a standard to get a grade 1, they have to sacrifice some things. Put away things that you don't need right now. Anything that is going to rob you of meeting that standard, you have to sacrifice that. Anything. And if anybody love you, they will allow you the time. I'm very blunt and serious now. There's results me deal with. Results. CDP Labs is dubbed as the home of grade 1 students. If you have listened to one of our students from St. Mary's College, 2016 candidate who got 3 1s, he said, we have students who have get grade 1s. Yes, we have. And that's what we're after. And I'm going to fight for it. So if you don't plan to fight, do the best thing. It's not about coming to hear the teacher. Hear means nothing, because I will not be in that exam. Maybe my voice, begging and beseeching, but not to be teaching in the exam. All right. You don't talk. Read the next question, miss. Read the next question.
Both of these hormones produced by the pancreas target the liver cell. Describe the action of one named hormone on the liver cell and its effect on blood glucose level.
Okay, which one you choose? Which one you choose? 2 marks. 1 mark is the name, one of them. Second mark is the state, the function. Right? 1 mark. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Insulin, sir.
Okay. All right. Function.
It helps to lower glucose level in the blood.
Good. By doing what? It lowers it by doing what? They probably have given it 2 marks. All right. But you remember that the cause the cells to receive glucose, or it cause the liver to what? Store glucose into one of those G words. And always a mix up, right? Okay, but nice try at the 2 marks. Very good, not bad. All
Yeah,
right,
which one of
so
the G word, sir?
nobody come ask me.
Glucogen, sir.
Me mix it up sometime too. All right. Now, as we get into the mix of things now, we're gonna close on this point because I did say something earlier to you guys that when you're studying structure, function, also study what? Diseases. Remember I told you that, right?
Yes,
Remember I
sir.
told you that. Watch this now, you know. Watch this now. This question is basically based on technically we're coming up to the disease. We study the system, the endocrine system. Here comes a disease. Diabetes. You see it now. You see it
Yes,
now.
sir.
So this, it is vital that you follow the instructions now. Next class I want to see a skeletal system model. I want to see somewhere you have in your room, where in a house, where you study with. I want to see the digestive system model. I know I saw that, but I want to see. I hope it look more decorated than it was before. All right, colorful, making the things colorful. Use pictures. You know, the new students. The picture have not been recording their classes, but the new students have been very creative. We look at the food chain and persons took picture. They look for pictures. They're like making a scrapbook. It's just like you're making a scrapbook, you know. You can make a scrapbook for yourself of the systems, just in pictures. Right? And the pictures
I
tell the
don't go through
story.
the food chain as yet.
Or you don't go through that as yet. But no. But I'm sure you do have a scrapbook for a scrapbook starting for the others yet. Because a long time I told you to make that picture book. A long time. I don't know what you're talking about, but it's a long time. All right. I fight for my results, yeah, young lady. I fight for that. As a teacher, my job is to pull the best out of my students. That's what I do. Pull the best out of my students. All right, so we'll end on this note. All right, end on this. Oh my God, 2020, here we come. Again, the videos were made in 2009. And again, which eye defect is this? And we did this last week. Which eye defect is this? Which eye defect? By the way, where's the image actually being formed?
Sir?
Where's the image being formed right here, so? Just look at it. Look at it and tell you. The picture tell us. So look at it and tell me. The picture tells you. So look at it and tell me. The picture, look at it and tell me. Just look at the picture. Just tell me where the image is being formed. Where's the focal point? Just look at the picture. Look at the picture. There's nothing to think about. You just to look at it. Use your eyes and look at it and tell me where the image being formed. Put your finger as where the image is being formed. Put your finger on it. You put the finger on it?
Eye, sir.
Huh? Come again?
Back of the eye.
At the back of the eye. Good. That's all. So you don't have something you don't have to think about yet. You just look. That's all I have to do. Just look. You don't have to think. Just look. Just look. Relax and look. At the back of the eye. So which one of them now relate to the back of the eye? Use the layman term first. Back of the eye. Back of the eye. All right. I saw Alicia says behind the retina. Good. The vet says behind the retina. Good. All right. Okay. Now, so all right. Back of the eye. Good.
Sir,
So,
that one is farsighted.
very good. Yes, I mean, you struggle to find long-sighted, don't it? Of course, far-sighted. Good, far-sighted. Eh? Oh, so what's the cause of that? What's the cause of it being far-sighted? What's the cause of it? What's the cause of it? Of it being far-sighted. What's the cause?
Anything to eat for hours. I wonder if I have any snacks left in here. Is that what I think it is? I guess this could work, but it has a giant hole in it. Hey, an electric water heater. Wow. Thanks to noodles that eat but can't use the cup, put the noodles directly into the electric water heater pitcher. Next, pour in the fresh water. And be sure not to forget the flavor packet. Time to shut the lid and heat things up. After a few minutes, you should have yourself some hot noodles.
Check on that one.
What that one go?
I said that one.
What is about that one?
Pastor.
No, you're not pass at it, man. You're not going to pass at it. If it falls behind the retina, what is the possibility? Look, the answer is right in front of you. Trust me, the answer is right in front of you.
I have to just get more in the spirit of things. A little weird, but hey, whatever works for you. And right after you're done dancing, you can get going on the guacamole.
I see it's right there. Now state one reason. All right, let's see what persons are saying. Oh, very, very good, Nikita. You have identified the eye defect. And Alicia has identified the cause. Well, yeah, Vivette, you're already defining what it means. We want to know the cause. Alicia is the one who gave the cause. All right, I want you to think about it. If it falls behind it, it means what?
Mash the avocado and rub the ingredients together. Once you're done mashing, push all the guac towards the bottom of the bag.
All right, you watch cricket?
No, sir.
You don't watch cricket. All right. The eyeball is either long or short. So I'll give you a hint. The eyeball is either long or short. Which of them it is that causes the image to fall behind the retina? Is it because it's long or is it because it's short? Which one?
Long, sir.
Nope. Because it's short. Because it's short. The eyeball is smaller than usual. It's short. Small, right? Okay. But nice try still. But it goes to show you why you need the models. You understand what I'm saying? Right? Why you need the models. See there? All of this 2020 is based on the videos that you have watched. True, don't it? You agree? Cataract here it come again. Right? So we look at some of the eye diseases. Again, I tell you, if you look at the diseases, glaucoma. I think you guys should look at glaucoma, because it might just come in the 2021 exam. Glaucoma, is that clear?
Yes, sir.
I suspect. And Teresa, as we close tonight, tell me how you study, by the way. I want to know how you study. Tell me, and be honest with me now. How do you study?
I'm just taking in your brilliant lecture.
Yes, the eyeball is short. That's correct, Vivette.
Your luck here. Hey, are you snacking, Missy?
Short eyeball.
Listen to video and look at photos.
Look at videos and do what?
Listen to videos and look at photos.
But do you make the models and use the models to study from the models? Do you study from the models?
That's why I like draw image and try to label it.
Okay. All right. You could also write storylines too, you know.
Huh?
You could do storylines. Just like class, we're gonna do that storyline with a picture. I started off with a gentleman in a car. They showed the picture depicting what is possibly happening to him, and then we went into the diagrams now that have explained what happened and how it is corrected. Remember that, right? That's the kind of technique I wanted to use when you're studying. So you find a picture that is related, that it depicts the something that you would see with the naked eye. But now the other pictures now are diagrams now that explains now what is behind the scenes, what is happening, the cause and how it is corrected. You follow what I'm saying now? Make sense? Making sense?
Yes, sir, man.
All right. No, stop doubting yourself. Forget about the doubt. What you must do is do what I'm telling you to do. And stop thinking about the exam. Stop thinking about seminar. No. Forget about that. But before we go any further, you don't think that your memory is improving?
Yes, sir.
Okay then. So what you worried about? What you worried about? Remember the goodness of God will follow you in that exam. Just pray and do what you ought to do. All right. So I see Vivette said that you need to study more on the eyes. So as we close tonight, the time has really run off on us tonight. So we're going to evaluate the class tonight. But it's evident that you recognize now that your memory is better, but you need to pray more. You need to read your Bible more. Try to memorize a Bible verse or something. Very good. And you need to eat right. Right? You need to eat right. Drink up your oats. And next week we're going to talk about the brain food. For those persons who are doing exams, oats is necessary. Right? The vitamin B, you need the vitamin B's. So that will improve your memory as well. But it's not about the memory. You have to understand that how the brain works. It is visuals that people tend to remember a person's look than the person's name. So you have to study how the brain works. Right? That's all you have to learn. You have to understand how the brain works or how your brain works, and that's a part of how you study. You understand?
Yes,
Good.
sir.
So if pictures are working for you, use pictures. Use pictures. Please remind me that in our class on Saturday night, that's willing, I'm going to show you guys how to look at build your word charts when you're going to answer the questions. All right, that's a technique that I have not introduced to the classes yet. The word charts, so you create your word charts when you're going to write answers to the exam questions. All right. Um, just how was class tonight for you? You're the only one in Zoom, so how was class tonight for you? Apart from me cussing you out, but how was your class tonight? How you feel about class tonight?
Sir, class was great.
Class was great. Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. All right. Also want to hear from those persons in YouTube. I want to say thanks to wow, it's a long list of persons to say thanks to. Don't want to get myself in any trouble. As usual, I want to say thanks to Vivette and Elaine and Alicia. Those persons have now become a part of the CDP family. You have been around, and we do appreciate your weekly attendance to the classes. Um, we hope that you guys support our marathon. Okay. We hope that you support the marathon, please. All right. Yes, so expecting you guys to support the marathon. All right. Want to say special thanks as well to Mr. Reverend Adrian Ellis for paying us a visit, a courtesy call. Thank you, sir, for coming and see what's happening here at CDP Labs of the Services. You are. We had a guest maths teacher on Monday, by way of Mr. Foster and Mr. Ellis. If you want to come on the platform one day, then you can. You are invited to join us. get to do an HSB class here at CDP Labs Energy Services. I want to say special thanks to Beverly Theophilus. All right. Thank you for joining us, of course. And I want to say thanks to Nikita Williams. I think this is the first time seeing this name. So welcome to CDP Labs, Nikita. Welcome to CDP Labs. I also want to say a special thanks to DD for the first time. DD has commented on some of the videos, so she has seen some of the videos. I have not seen all of them because not all of them are for students who are not in a part of CDP Labs. DD, thank you for commenting on our videos that you have watched so far, and thank you for joining us tonight. Tarsha, thank you for being there. At least you still participate in from there. And also thanks to Alicia, won our top contender one of the quizzes. Very good. Thank you for being a part of us as well. And I hope I'm not missing any names. I don't think I'm missing any names. All right. So Nikita says, how do we join the Zoom? All right. To join the Zoom, just let me take my WhatsApp number and I'll send the information to you, Nikita. All right, just send a WhatsApp number to this. Send a WhatsApp number. The WhatsApp number is a WhatsApp number to send a message to my WhatsApp number, which is 1-876, or the school's WhatsApp number 324-8441. You contact us at 324-8441. So Vivette says thanks for, well, I'm seeing okay, so did you say good night to all? To Didi Grongalefwe? Vivette says class was great tonight, sir. I learned a lot. You're welcome, Vivette. Nikita says she learned a lot as well. Vivette says thanks for appreciating everything. Yes. Nikita says, how do we join Zoom? I gave her the WhatsApp message a while ago. Vivette said, yes, sir. We will be at your marathon. Thank you for making the effort to be there. And of course, Nikita says, how do we join Zoom? All right. Okay. And Elisa says, class was great, although the painkillers knocked me out. Appreciate the study tips. Thanks a lot. You're welcome, Alicia. Painkillers, it takes some natural home remedies. Okay. And Bebe says, sir, you have my contact number. I'll be on Zoom next week. All right. Okay, ma'am. All right. So, so it's a wrap for tonight. And thank you very much, Teresa. You may go to bed. Well, I don't know you're going to go to bed now, but go and get some work done. Teresa, pause on the worksheet, but make me my models for next week. Okay, ma'am? Pause on the worksheet, but make me my models for next week, okay?
Yes, sir.
Make me my models. I want those models. I want to make sure you make those models. Have to make them for every system. Okay? Every system. All right? So that is a wrap for tonight. Let me end the stream. So good night to you all. It was a pleasure again having you guys with us. Let me end the stream.